This is Made for More Living with Johnny Jennings, powered by eXp Realty. Online at madeformoreliving.com.
This is so frustrating, like incredibly frustrating. Probably one of like the most annoying things that real estate agents are not allowed to do. I get the idea behind it, Valerie. I understand the process and you know the reason why it's like this, but I think it's one of those good ideas done in like somebody thought it up and go, hey, that's a good idea. But when you actually put it into practice, it's like people don't like it.
In
people
theory,
don't like
it makes sense.
Yeah, they don't like. My name is Johnny Jennings. I'm here with Valary Jennings, my lovely wife, better half, the brains behind the operation, and we are discussing steering in real estate. So if you've ever bought or sold a property and you've gone to your real estate agent and said, hey, where's a good neighborhood? Hey, what are the schools like here? Hey, what's the crime rate here? Hey, would you live here? You know, like if you're asking any questions about a neighborhood, legally, what are agents supposed to do, Valerie?
Say, I can't answer that question for you. You're going to have to do your own research.
Yeah, and maybe even point you to some websites that say, here are some resources where you can do your own research. But it's so frustrating because to me, that's like a core part of the real estate agent's job.
Right.
Is providing guidance. Right.
What's the point of being a local expert that's familiar with all the neighborhoods and everything if you're not allowed to share that information? And
I totally get like you don't want to be like, you know, redlining and stuff like that. But
do you know the history of that, of why that protocol was established?
Yeah.
Like there's got to be some kind of reasoning of why they don't want you to do that.
Yeah, because minorities were being pushed into or recommended to certain neighborhoods. Other ethnic groups would move out if other minorities were moving in. Say, hey, you don't want to go there. That neighborhood's going down. There was a lot of racial prejudice that was driving that, and I just don't. But I guess that's what frustrates me. Is at least in my experience, I haven't experienced. Hey, I don't want to live where those people are. Hey, don't put me in a house next to somebody like that. You know, I don't hear that. I hear like crime rate, schools, and we're not allowed to talk about that. Yeah. And that's the part that I think is really frustrating.
Yeah, completely valid questions like crime rates in schools. Yeah, like those are things people want to know when they're moving into a neighborhood.
Yeah.
I don't think they ask what's the racial demographic of Roseville. You know,
no,
I've never been asked that question.
It's an economic question. That's what it's around. You know, it's a. You know, so I don't know.
It's a safety thing.
Is there hope that will be relooked at and changed in the future, or no?
No, not to my knowledge. Not to my knowledge. There's a lot of crazy things happening in real estate as far as just like not only the consumer but also on the agent side. So, for example, the PRO Act, right? And have you, for those of you who don't know what the PRO Act is, like this is something that it doesn't only impact real estate agents. It doesn't only impact truck drivers. It impacts potentially every single independent contractor and is going to remove that independent contractor status. So if they're working for somebody, they're doing like if I'm working so Valerie and I were brokered by eXp, right? And if we want to continue to be brokered by eXp would have to make us an employee. And that is just going to have huge consequences in the market, not only for us as agents, but also for the consumer.
Right. Yeah.
If that passes, in my opinion, you're going to see a lot of independent shops pop up, right? There's going to be less oversight for agents, and I think honestly the fee is going to go up because now you have this revolving overhead that the corporations have to pay. Yeah, there's no way to get away from it. Yeah. It's just going to be absolute. It's going to be horrible. So I get the idea behind it. I think it's like the steering rule. Like it had good intentions, but if it goes into effect, man, it is just going to totally wreck people's chances of buying and selling a home. It's going to be rough for a couple of years. But enough of the negative talk. Yeah. We don't need to be negative Nancy over here, but or sorry Nancy if you're out there, but let's do some positive talk. So we have some great agents on our team as independent contractors who are doing really, really well. Valerie, what does it look like to be on our team? If you were an outsider looking in, how would you describe it?
I think the level of support is one of those things that people just don't really understand. Yeah. Like they assume they're getting into real estate, they're going to be an independent contractor. That means I'm running my own business, right? But the fact that you would have Johnny and I there to hold your hand on any of these processes that you're going through, like all the way from the beginning of does, simple questions like, does my client need to be pre-approved before I take them out shopping? How do I get them pre-approved? How do I write a contract? All those things, like, we're holding your hand the entire way. And I think that is something that you don't necessarily get on other teams, or that people don't realize that they're missing out on when they try to do this business alone without a team.
Yep. It's the culture. It's 100%. There's accountability and there's just support.
Yeah.
So agents don't have to suffer in silence. And it's not just for new agents, right?
Yeah, exactly.
There are people on the team who are brand new and they're like, hey, I want to learn the right way. I want to represent my clients, in the right way. How do I do that? And then there's experienced agents on our team who are like, hey, I'm tired of doing this alone.
Right.
I'm tired of being an island. I'm tired of dealing with the marketing. I'm tired of dealing with all the paperwork. I'm tired of dealing with, like, finding people to host my houses open or finding houses to hold open. Like, it's just, it's exhausting if you're a one person show.
Yeah. Or even, like, a lot of agents, when they first get in the business, they work mostly with buyers, right? That's just kind of like an easier way to get in. Well, then sometimes agents want to flip it to becoming a listing agent, and that's another great place where we can add value as well.
Yeah.
Johnny and I sell a lot of homes representing sellers. And so we have the opportunity to shadow on listing appointments, and help you go on your own listing appointments as well.
Yep.
To help break into that market of representing sellers.
Well, that's a good point, sweetheart. I never thought about that. Yeah. So recently I said, hey, I'm never going on another listing appointment by myself. I do not want to go on a listing appointment by myself, because if I'm going, like, I know what I'm doing, but it doesn't help anybody else on our team.
Right.
And so from now on, and it's safer, I think, going with more than one person.
True.
And so now moving forward, there's always going to be at least one agent with me who's going on a listing appointment. So I went to a listing appointment in Grass Valley. I went to a listing appointment with somebody else in Yuba City. I have another one coming up in Galt. And so, like, there's always going to be somebody with me. So that gives them the opportunity to learn, not just watch a video or sit in a classroom and learn about it, but to go on the appointment, see how it's conducted, see how we handle the questions that sellers have and stuff. And so, I think that's a lot of fun, because the typical agent, especially brand new, maybe goes on one listing appointment, maybe 4 in a given year, you know, and we go on them like almost daily. And so just imagine how the value that a new agent would have. Oh man, I wish I had that.
Yeah. I wish I could see how a listing appointment is conducted. Well, you can. Yeah. From start to finish.
So we partnered with Tom Daves a while back, like legend in the industry. I always looked up to him. I was like, oh man, I just wish I could learn his listing presentation. And then I remember the first time I went on a listing appointment with him, I was like, wow. This guy, starstruck. Hey, can you sign my hat, Tom? Can you sign my hat? Like, he is just such a good listing. He's such a good agent. He's probably one of the top agents in the country in terms of number of appointments gone on. Yeah. Like, he's been licensed in 1977. Anyways, I'll get off the little fanboy moment. But if I had that opportunity, like, we're 8 years in, almost 9 years into our career. If I had that year one, oh my gosh, I would be so much further ahead than I am right now if I had the opportunity to shadow it like a Tom Daves. Not that I am a Tom Daves. If I just had the opportunity to shadow people on listing appointments, that's a closely held secret.
It is, yeah.
People do, that is like, that's like intellectual property.
Because I think there's a lot of agents maybe that are listening that think, well, maybe more experienced agents or teams like you guys, they're too busy to sit there and show me the ropes or teach me new strategies, or maybe they think I'm trying to interfere or interrupt their business and try to latch on to their success. But you guys don't feel that way at all, right?
Nope. Here's the thing: is who do you want to learn from? Do you want to learn from the heart surgeon that does a heart surgery every 6 months, or do you want to learn from the heart surgeon who's banging them out like multiple heart surgeries a week, like once a day, 3 surgeries a day? Like who do you want to learn from? Conversely, if you're the client, who do you want to go to? Do you want to go to the very seasoned professional, or the person who's just, I'm just doing a part-time and I have plenty of time for you because you're my only client? No, I prefer the professional. And so what I will say is when an agent joins our team, the ones that succeed are the ones who are hungry and show up. Yeah. If you expect passively for Valerie and I to hold your hand and walk you through everything and call you 3 times a day and check in on you, those are the agents who don't do so well. But the agents who show up and are like, hey, I want to learn this. Hey, I'm available to go see this listing appointment on a Sunday night in Yuba. Please bring me along, right? But if somebody's like, no, it's Sunday's family time, and then I'm going to take Monday off to be with my husband. And it's like, okay, those people will struggle because they're not willing to put in the short-term work to see the long-term results. But if you are humble, hungry, ready to learn, and coachable, then oh my gosh, it is just like oil and gas. Like, let's go, oil and fire, gas and fire. Anyway, some type of great analogy.
Oh, Johnny.
But yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah. So if you're an agent and you're considering leveling up your business, just please have a conversation with us. We'd love to explain to you how we help agents go from selling a couple houses a year to doing $5, $6, $8 million a year in production. So we'd love to have a conversation with you. We're looking to partner with great people.
And they can do that by going to
madeformoreliving.com. Just reach out to us.
madeformoreliving.com. There's a way to reach out to you guys.
Absolutely. Yeah, just say I'm an agent. How do I connect with Johnny?
Well, hey, if you're listening to today's show and you're thinking about putting your home on the market, there's nobody better than Johnny Jennings and his team at Made for More Living. They're going to get you the most money possible in the fastest amount of time. The process is smooth and easy. And hey, if you feel like your home is just not ready yet, there's home improvement projects to be done, but you don't have the time or the money, Johnny Jennings and the Made for More Living team can help out. Again, just reach out at madeformoreliving.com. Madeformoreliving.com.